Hey again, guys.
Yep, hey again.
So this time, for real, we give you Predators. A sequel that, I guess for me, came completely out of nowhere. I never expected there to be another Predator movie, especially after the horrendous AVPR.
Yeah, I as much as an Alien and Predator fan I was a little disappointed with AVPR just because of the fact we all know the problems wrong with it, right? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Predators.
Well, I'll promise you we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Predator sequel was made by Nimród Antal, who I knew as the director of Vacancy, which is one of my favorite thrillers. So yeah, I thought, this guy can do it.
It was also produced by Robert Rodriguez, who was a major director for some really violent Texas state-related movies, like what recently came out after Predators was Machete.
Oh yeah.
There was also Sin City, I believe, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Did he do a
He did a remake, I think.
You sure?
Maybe, but he also did some corny children's stuff like Spy Kids and stuff. I won't go into that. But Robert Rodriguez is known for extremely violent, gory movies too. So when I heard he was going to be producing this and it's going to be at his studio in Texas, which is my home state, I was like, oh!
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, Predators, well, it is a sequel to Predator 2 and the original. It completely ignored the second, at least as far as references go. There's one tiny reference in this movie to the original, at least its events, but none of it is referred to Predator 2, which was a little disappointing.
Maybe the director and Robert Rodriguez just didn't like the second one that much, but I think to an extent they took what they needed from the second one, which was to not be scared on developing Predator weapons.
Exactly. I mean, this movie doesn't really, it doesn't break anything established in Predator 2. I would go as far as that. It doesn't break anything we know about the creatures, so it still fits in.
More like built on it.
Yeah.
So, I approve that.
Yeah, it's still a sequel to Predator 2 to me. But anyway, so, the plot this time actually is pretty cool. We're dealing with random people who are
expert killers, more or less.
I was about to mention it later, but anyway.
Sorry.
So these people wake up literally falling from the sky. That was one of the biggest what the hell openings of any movie I have ever seen. It was really cool. It came out of nowhere. A guy falls down into the jungle. He opens his parachute, hits the ground, and then bam! The movie title shows up. I was like, wow.
What the hell?
Very cool introduction, quick and to the point. Really, really good.
Extremely different from the first two movies.
Yeah, it has a different pace, but it still has, it at least atmosphere-wise, feels a lot like the first. But actually, the atmosphere is stronger in this one. The reason, okay, so these people find each other and they find out over time that they are not just random people. They are actually what the Predators consider to be the most dangerous individuals they can find on the planet. Like, we have mercs, we have, I think it was a Soviet soldier in there, and there was a prisoner.
A cartel, and then you also have,
prisoner was there,
what's that Japanese mafia gang called?
The Yakuza.
The Yakuza. That was awesome to have. And yeah, it's like two special Marines, or one of them is like an ex-Marine, and another is an expert commando Marine or something. Well, not commando, sniper.
And there's a doctor in there.
And there's a doctor, which is unorthodox, but I think we all know where he leads up to.
And if you don't, well, watch the movie. We're not going to tell you.
Yeah, we ain't telling you.
So that's basically it. They're stuck in this jungle, and they're roaming around trying to figure out why they're there and who brought them there. Because it takes a while in this movie for the Predators to actually show up, and I like that, because it builds suspense. Again, it's like after all these years, there's another Predator movie, and you're like, what are they gonna look like? What are they gonna look like? Show them already!
We want to see them!
But just like in the first one, all they do is they show the Predator's vision through that blue heat vision again.
Red, blue,
and that was, I thought it was pretty good to just, it's like, okay, we ignore that it was movies before. We treat this as if it was the first time.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And I think this is the way horror movies should be because, it's hard to explain, but I guess it's like in Aliens and Alien 3. Aliens hardly ever shows the creature until the shit really gets started. Alien 3, the creature's there all the time.
Yeah.
At least that's what it feels like. It takes away a lot of the suspense and tension that would usually be there, not knowing where the creature is and what it does. But in this movie, they don't show the predators that much, at least until they really make their first appearance, and man, it is pretty good.
At least it makes sense when they start to show the predators what they are. It's because the team gets bold and decides to hunt down the people that brought them there, and turns out they find their camp and blah blah blah. Spoiling, I'm not going to spoil anymore. So I guess we should just go down the cast here, and some of these people we know.
Yeah, definitely.
As a Texan, I definitely know the guy who plays, oh God, Chucalillo, I can never pronounce his name right, but that's Danny Trevillo. He plays the cartel, and he plays in a lot of Robert Rodriguez movies, so I just know him by nature.
Yeah.
But then you have, Adrian Brody that plays Royce, Topher Grace that plays Edwin, Alyssa Braga who plays Isabel. I'm not going to go down the entire list here, but just to point out here, we got another Vasquez impersonator here, I think.
Sort of, yeah. It's the character of Isabel, who's played by Alice Braga. She reminds me of her, but
not hardcore badass. It's like she's an honorable soldier.
She's a sniper and she knows what to do when in tough situations. It's simple as that. She's a soldier. And to me, the biggest surprise in the cast was the character of Noland, played by Lawrence Fishburne, who's going to show up later in the movie. We're not going to tell you who he is or what he does, but I tell you that I was very surprised to see this guy, because personally, I haven't seen him ever since Matrix and Event Horizon, both movies I like very much because of him, and of course many other reasons, but I thought that his appearance here, while a little awkward, wasn't bad.
I would say very surprising, but also very disappointed, because he doesn't stay very long, I guess you could say, and I guess this movie didn't have enough to keep him on, I guess, because he's very expensive actor, really.
I guess, I don't know, he's a weird character, and you're gonna see when you watch the movie.
Yeah.
So that's that. So, what can we say about the Predators this time? I can tell you one thing, they definitely changed.
They're definitely bigger.
Oh yeah, they're bigger. I guess this is one thing we can give away, I guess, without showing you guys any pictures, of course. The Predators look a little different this time. They're not a different species. I'm very sure they're not, but they look different. Like, some of them are bigger, have even more badass weaponry than some others.
Enhanced coloring on their skin, too.
Yeah, but I heard when this came out, especially in our clan, there was discussions all over it. Are these new predators? Like, is it a new species? Well, this is my opinion on it. I'd just like to share it with you guys. In my opinion, this new predator look is simply explained by one fact. First of all, not all of the Predators ever look the same to begin with. No. Look at the original and then look at the one from Predator 2. They look nothing alike.
It's like people. You have some people that are white, some are black, some are taller, some are not.
Yeah, without being racist here, people, those are facts.
It's a fact. Everyone is an individual here, so why not the Predators too?
So to me, this didn't look like a species conflict or anything. It looked more like
tribal.
A rival clan.
Yeah, tribal.
Like different clans fighting each other. Even though the makers of the movie described them as super predators because they are stronger and all, they're still just plain predators to me, just of a different tribe, that's it.
Different color, different look. Well, not entirely different. I mean, you could just still tell what they are right off the spot. They just have a different individual appearance.
And granted, they're pretty merciless too, but hey, could be a bad blood clan for all we know.
Extremely merciless. I did not like the head leading predator of this movie. He was a real villain.
It could be Outcast for all we know, but this is going into fandom, and we're not gonna go too deep into that.
Because we could go all week here.
Oh yeah, we could. So yeah, that is basically Predator. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Well, I just noticed the rating on the IMDb, and I'm not going to announce it just yet, but from all the critics I've been hearing and stuff, some people were not very pleased with this movie. They said it ripped off the first one too much. You know what I say to that? I say they kept to the franchise. Yeah, they were playing it safe, I guess, with this movie and didn't want to expand too much. And you know what? That's fine. When was the last sequel made?
Predator 2 was made in, let me see, 1990.
Yeah, okay. People, give it a break here. You know, it's been a while since another sequel has been made of this movie.
20 years.
They were playing it safe, fair enough. It's still a great movie.
It is good. I mean, it's not, oh my god, this movie's perfect, but I really like this one. It is an action movie. It is not the Predator documentary that I guess some fans expected. Guys, that is never gonna happen, because this is not gonna appeal to a whole lot of people. When I watch a Predator movie, what I want is a badass cast, predators hunting them, cool environments, cool one-liners, if there are some. I like them.
Bloody gore scenes, epic fight scenes, and
good music.
Good music.
This movie has it all. Talk about the music. This, I guess, can be taken either in a good or in a bad way. A lot of this movie soundtrack is, well, inspired is not even the word anymore. It's remastered music from the first movie. They use entire passages. They use the main theme, but you know, Predator 2 did the same. Nobody complained about that. They used the main theme from the first one with slight variations.
And there's slight variations with these, a little bit more too.
I actually found it very entertaining to hear that music again.
Yeah, same.
Like when they walked through the jungle, you hear the same music as the first one. It's like, oh man, this is like back in the day.
Oh, it feels like visiting an old friend, only more epic.
But my impression was this movie felt so much more intense because the cast, unlike in the first movie, is not, you know, everybody knows each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they all know how to work as a team. These guys are strangers, so they have to work together, even though they are the most dangerous people on Earth that would kill each other in a heartbeat if they wouldn't be in that situation. And here are some extraterrestrial hunters, more than one, by the way, and it's like, how the hell is this gonna end? This is one of those movies I couldn't predict at all. I mean, I guess I predicted Adrian Brody to survive this movie, but other than that, you never know what is gonna happen, especially with the new Predators who won't show up for a good chunk of the movie. You're like, what new tricks do they have? And yeah, they do have some. Not a whole lot, but there is new stuff here. There is gore, oh yeah.
Plenty of it.
And it's just everything I wanted from a Predator movie. Granted, there's one part in it where it just drags on for a while, where no predators show up. That is the only weakness of this movie, in my opinion.
But I can survive with that, because in the first movies they've done that too. But here's one thing I'm going to say about this movie that really just made me scream. Hell yeah! Badass seal of approval. Because the fact is, Robert Rodriguez is a fan of the Predator movies. And he was going to respect that to the core, which he did, in my opinion. And one spoiler here, guys, but he fulfilled a huge expectational dream that the Predator fans wanted to see. A sword blade fight.
Oh yeah, we do have that. It's sort of like in the first movie, you know? Remember when Billy was trying to stand up to a Predator on his own just with a combat knife? Well, that fight never happened. Well, at least it was off screen.
It was off screen, and from the sound of it didn't. I don't even think a fight took place. It sounded like Billy just died on the spot.
It sounded like the Predator just shot him or something.
Right.
But anyway, we do have a sword fight here. It's pretty damn cool, and
that was probably my favorite scene of the movie, other than the climax with the final fight scene, which was a lot different from the first two movies too. It took an idea and then kind of reversed it, you know?
It worked with it. It sort of did reverse it. You're right about that.
Think about it. Predators see heat. We all know that. So in the first movie, how did Arnold Schwarzenegger avoid the heat signature? I'm sorry, Dutch. Well, he covered his body heat.
In wet mud, which kept him cool.
Well, in this case, the guy used his body heat to an advantage with the environment. That's the only spoiler I'm going to say about that. He used his body heat to the advantage. It's a reversal, and I thought that was brilliant.
That was a pretty cool idea, but trust me, that doesn't mean at all that he's gonna win.
No.
Because let's remember the first movie, that Predator beat up Arnold even without his heat vision.
Yeah, well, Predator's always adapt. They always think on their feet too. These are very highly intelligent hunters here. They're not stupid.
No, not at all. So, oh yeah, there's another little cool thing, I guess. The Predators have pets in this movie, and you're gonna see what it is. But I can tell you one thing about it. It makes for a great action scene.
Yeah, very good.
It comes out of nowhere, by the way. I didn't expect this. It was really cool. But when you think about it, it makes sense.
Then as soon as it's over, and I don't even think it lasted that long.
I think it was 2 or 3 minutes.
That was enough, though, to put you on edge, though, because the actors then indicated that something really bad was going to happen soon, and, well, that got you interested. You were on your seat by then now.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the movie, no, those pets are not xenomorphs.
No.
Well, that would have been funny, but
that
no.
would have pissed me off, sorry.
But no, there's no, as far as I can tell, there's no references to any of the alien movies or the AVP movies here. As far as events goes, only Predator 1 is mentioned. Everything else is ignored.
Which is fine. I don't mind that too much. And Predator's his own franchise. It should stay that way.
Besides, it would have been awkward if one or even multiple of the characters would have known about all these events while they were clearly not there.
Not to mention, I am an Alien fan. If I were to see an alien dominated by a Predator, I'm sorry, but bullshit!
Yeah, it should be at least equal here, but anyway. This movie has no aliens, so there's no debate in that direction. It's great.
Yeah.
So what does IMDb think? IMDb says 6.5. I say that's bullshit!
That is high, big bullshit for me, too.
In my opinion, this movie deserves at least an 8.
Who rates this? Average moviegoers?
Everybody.
Okay, everybody. Okay, everybody that has been rating on this site. Come on. Give it a break.
I don't know what you fans were expecting, but this is not the Predator documentary that tells us all about their lifestyle and all that. Nobody wants that.
You want a Predator documentary? Make your own.
Exactly. My rating is an 8 out of 10.
I would say, yeah, 8.5.
That is good too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's so far the entire Predator franchise. I hope there's more movies coming eventually. I'd like it.
Well, from what Rodriguez hinted, he said he wanted to wait to see how well the Predators movie did, and if it gave it a go from Fox Studios, then they would definitely make a sequel, only this time he would not be afraid to expand more into the Predator culture a little bit.
Yeah, but I just checked on IMDb, there's no word on an upcoming Predator movie.
Well, I'm not expecting it to happen anytime soon anyway. I mean, considering the economy right now and the fact that Prometheus is coming out next year. And another thing is that he has a whole other list of movies to do.
Yeah.
Another sequel to Predators may not happen for maybe 2 more years. That's just an assumption, prediction. It's not final or anything. I didn't get that off any site.
I mean, we're talking about Robert Rodriguez all the time, but still, the director was Nimród Antal.
I don't know much about him, I guess. That's
I
why.
saw Vacancy, which I liked, but that's about it. I think he's a competent director from what I saw in that movie, though.
Well, if he directed Vacancy, and I only saw that once, and I know what that movie was all about, then, you know what, he did a good job then. Because he added the suspense and thrill to the movie. Robert Rodriguez added the gore and action.
Yeah.
Good combo.
So it's a good movie. Get over the fact that it was 20 years of it. Movie is not that much different from the first. You're still gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a good sequel, a very good sequel in my opinion.
Very, very good. Probably a hell of a lot better than Predator 2. Unfortunately, I hate to say.
I don't know about that. I mean, I gave both movies pretty much the same rating with little difference.
Yeah. Well, see, granted, I like all 3, so.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess that was it, guys. We'll see you next time with Aliens vs. Predator.
See ya.
See ya.